Should able to see my screen?
Yes, all good.
Namami Sharamsa Chidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam Namami Sharamsa Chidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam Jasoda Bhiyonu Khala Dhavomanam Paramrishtamatan Tato Drutta Gopya Jasoda Bhiyonu Khala Dhavomanam Paramrishtamatan Tato Drutta Gopya Namami Sharamsa Chidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam Rudantam Muhurnetram Jugmam Mrijantam Karam Bhoja Jugmena Shatanka Netram Rudantam Muhurnetram Jugmam Mrijantam Karam Bhoja Jugmena Shatanka Netram Muhushashokam Potri Rekhanko Kantra Sthita Graiva Damodaram Bhakti Badham Muhushashokam Potri Rekhanko Kantra Sthita Graiva Damodaram Bhakti Badham Namami Sharamsa Chidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam Iti Driksha Leelabhirananda Kunde Shadhosang Nimajjantam Akhapayantam Iti Driksha Leelabhirananda Kunde Shadhosang Nimajjantam Akhapayantam Tadishitageshu bhaktoirjitatam Puna prematastam shatabritti vande Tadishitageshu bhaktoirjitatam Puna prematastam shatabritti vande Namami Sharamsa Chidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam Varam Deva Mokshang Na Mokshavadhim Va Nachannam Drine Aham Varishadapiha Varam Deva Mokshavadhim Va Nachannam Drine Aham Varishadapiha Idante Gopurnatha Gopala Bala Shadame Mana Shavirastam Kimanai Idante Gopurnatha Gopala Bala Shadame Mana Shavirastam Kimanai Namami Sharamsa Chidananda Rupam लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमाना ईदन्ते मुखम्बुजामत्यन्त नीलै वृतं कुन्तलै स्निग्धा रक्तैश्च गोप्या ईदन्ते मुखम्बुजामत्यन्त नीलै वृतं कुन्तलै स्निग्धा रक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बारक्ताधरं मे मनसा विरास्तामलं लक्ष्यलाभै मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बारक्ताधरं मे मनसा विरास्तामलं लक्ष्यलाभै नमामि शरणं सा चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमाना नमो देवो दामोदराय अनन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभु दुःख जलाब्धिमग्ना नमो देवो दामोदराय अनन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभु दुःख जलाब्धिमग्ना कृपा दृष्टि वृष्टति दिनं बतानु गृहाणे समामगामेद्धक्षिदृश्च कृपा दृष्टि वृष्टति दिनं बतानु गृहाणे समामगामेद्धक्षिदृश्च नमामि शरणं सा चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमाना कुबेरात्मजौ बद्ध मूर्तैव जाद्वत् तया मोचितौ भक्ति भाजौ कृतौ च कुबेरात्मजौ बद्ध मूर्तैव जाद्वत् तया मोचितौ भक्ति भाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्ति सकां मे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहमेस्ति दामोदरेह तथा प्रेम भक्ति सकां मे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहमेस्ति दामोदरेह नमामि शरणं सा चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमाना नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने तदीयोदरायथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने तदीयोदरायथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकाय तदीयप्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्याम् नमो राधिकाय तदीयप्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्याम् नमामि शरणं सा चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमाना नमामि शरणं सा चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमाना नमामि शरणं सा चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमाना
Hare Krishna and welcome to all the devotees again for our third session, where we're going to be covering verse 2 of Sri Siksastakam. Let's do the invocation. Om Jnanatimivantasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shrita Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Vade Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Prem Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Pastatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Lord Chaitanya, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Lord Sri Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Acharya, all glories to the devotees of Lord Gauranga. Anarpitacharam Chiram Chirat Karunaya Bhartirna Kalo Samarpayitam Unat Tojvala Rasam Swabhaktim Shriyam Haripura Purata Sundara Dviti Kadamba Sandipita Sadaridaya Kanda Re Spuratu Vach Sachinandanam. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachidevi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chamber of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy, to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. Radha Krishna Pranaya Viraktir Ladini Shaktirasmad Ekatmanav Api Bhuvi Pura Dehabedam Gatoto Chaitanyakyam Praktam Aduna Tadhyayam Chaikyam Aptam Radha Bhavaduit Suvalitam Nomi Krishna Sarupam. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestation of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, previously they separated themselves. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Hare Krishna, welcome again. Let us cover some feedback. I will allow you to unmute as well. So whoever likes to unmute and share your feedback, please share that. Otherwise, you're most welcome to type in the chat and share your feedback from yesterday's verse, what you took home, what caught your attention, what you found interesting. Please share that so we can do a quick recap. Nalini Kanta says, devotion gives rise to devotion. So we should associate more and more with the holy name. Yes. Bhakti is completely independent, and bhakti can only rise and only grow when there is bhakti. No other aspect, gyan, karma, yoga, austerity, piety, none of these can increase devotion. Devotion is increased only by devotion. Madhachana Siddhi says, Hare Krishna Prabhu, wherever there is chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, transcendental knowledge will follow. So the holy name will reveal and bless us with transcendental knowledge. We simply have to chant and knowledge will follow. Karuna Radhika Devidasi says, chant and keep chanting. Chanting is first and the last step. Yes, the first sign of surrender to Krishna is chanting Hare Krishna. When somebody says you should surrender to Krishna, what does it mean? It means you start chanting Hare Krishna. Then you need to surrender more. So that means increase chanting. And then fully surrendered. That means 24 hours chanting. So in this way, the chanting is the beginning, middle, and the end. Chanting is the means and the end. Amavari Radhika says, Lord Chaitanya came to distribute and relish pure love of Krishna. By meditating on these 8 verses, Lord Chaitanya gave Krishna's past. By meditating on these 8 verses, Lord Chaitanya gave, Krishna's pastimes will manifest. Yes. So the Siksastakam verses do not share or present any particular pastime of Lord Chaitanya. But if we chant and associate and meditate on the Siksastakam verses, then the pastimes of Krishna will be revealed. Mukund says, Param Vijite Shri Krishna Sankirtan, stayed in the mind throughout the day today. Yes. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Krishna Sankirtan. Wherever we are congregating and chanting the holy names of Krishna, wherever we are congregating and glorifying Krishna's name, form, pastimes, there will always be victory. There is absolutely no question of inauspiciousness where there is Sankirtan. There is absolutely no question of failure where there is Sankirtan. Externally, we may see somebody going out and trying to have Sankirtan and nobody's interested, but that's not the case. Because if they're chanting the holy names of Krishna, it's going into their ears. Just like Prabhupada gave the one cartoon, the old lady's telling the old man, chant, chant, chant. And the old man is saying, can't. And Prabhupada is saying, just see. He's able to say can't, but he's not able to chant the holy name of Krishna. This is the unfortunate situation of people in Kali Yuga. So the holy name goes into the ears because you can't block your ears. And even if somebody is deaf, the holy name will impact the subtle ears and they'll be impacted. So you cannot escape this merciful feature and form of the holy name of Krishna. Mukund also says, chanting cleanses the mirror of our hearts. Just consider Krishna personally, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Krishna personally comes and purifies all the abhadrani, all the impurities. He personally takes care of the cleansing. It's a personal service that Krishna is doing for every one of us. Such an intimate relation we have with Krishna, that he's personally doing the cleansing. Nalini Hemavati says, Srila Prabhupada wrote all the books to convince us to chant Hare Krishna. Yes. Thank you very much for everyone's feedback. So what we're going to do is we are going to run a poll, 2 questions. You should see a poll with 2 questions. One question, you can rate how heavy is your bead bag in the morning. When you want to chant, how heavy is your bead bag? Is it very light, you're excited and you can pull your bead bag? Or it's very heavy? So 1 means not, it's very light, and 10 means very heavy. So you can just choose an option. I think on your side, you should be able to see a number. Mukun, what you seeing on your side?
Yes, Prabhu. So on my side, I only see the feedback. So devotees will
Okay,
be able to choose
you see
1
the
to
numbers.
10 for the first one. Yeah, we only
Right.
be able to see the results from our side.
And then how many rounds you chanting? So 0 means you're not chanting. 1 means you're chanting a minimum of 16 rounds, which means 1 to 16. And 2 means you're chanting more than 16. And I'm not sure whether they can actually reselect as well. Vidura, on your side, what do you see? You can unmute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Babu, I have already answered and
Yes.
submitted
Are you
the
able
answer.
to
Yes.
unselect and reselect?
I have not tried it because I did once only.
Okay, that's fine. But there is an option to say maybe undo or something.
Because now in my screen, it is no more on my screen now because I have.
Because you selected. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I think you only have 1 chance to.
Right, that's fine. So in terms of the chanting, 0 means not chanting, 1 means chanting minimum 16 rounds, and 2 means chanting more than 16 rounds. And then how heavy is your bead bag? 0, not heavy, and 10, it's like a rock. You know, like I really have to pick up this big, heavy bead bag. Do I have to really chant? It's like too heavy to chant. Okay, we'll give you another 30 seconds more. Those of you that haven't answered, please answer the poll quickly. And while the poll is running, Peter said, I withdrew my statement of the need for so much intelligence, like I said yesterday, because I'm already experiencing ecstasy from the first verse. Contains causeless mercy I cannot even pray for. I'm already experiencing renewal into the chanting. The first verse is so grounding. Looking forward to the second verse. Jivananda says, yes, reselection is an option if you select new option. Okay, thank you. Okay, great. We're going to end the poll. And let's see if I get, so the result, if I say share, yeah, I'm going to share the result. Okay, so I have shared the result. So rate how heavy is your bead bag. We got 15% that find it very easy to chant. Then going from 19, 15, 15, 4, 19, 4, 4, and we got 4% that find it very heavy to chant, very difficult to chant. So about, say 50, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, say 50% are able to chant, you know, without too much difficulty, and about 4, 8, 12, say 12 find it a little difficult. Good. We will address that. And how many rounds? So majority are chanting 16, and at least 68% are chanting more than 16 rounds. Good. All right. Thank you very much for that poll. Let us.
When you shared the question with me, how heavy is your bead bag? I initially thought some beads are quite light, so I took it that way. And some devotees are, they use the big
The big beads, the koftas.
Is there a difference between the beads, or that's what I thought of the
Yeah,
question?
no, so not, yeah, it's not relative to the size of the beads,
Okay.
but relative to our consciousness that when we wake up in the morning, it's
Right.
easy to pick up the beads,
Right.
or it's very, it's like the last
Heavy.
thing you want. Yeah, you want to escape the beads.
Okay.
It's like to get the beads, it's a challenge.
All right.
Okay, so we all have a choice, and we need to choose wisely. Here's a man. He can either choose the bread, and Prabhupada says, when you pray, oh Lord, give us our day, this daily bread, that's not love of God, that's love of bread. So we have a choice to choose Maya, and we'll still be in prison. Or we have a choice to choose the key to open this prison door and escape forever. The chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra will cut the knots, cut the chains, unlock this prison house that we caught in. It is such a simple process, but Prabhupada says sublime. And yes, simple, but Prabhupada said nobody said it's easy. And why it's not easy is because of our own psyche and baggage, which the holy name can also help to address the baggage. If you go through Srila Prabhupada's Bhaktivedanta purports, for each one of these, there are specific quotes from Srila Prabhupada's purports. I just shared the titles just to, let us contemplate on our good fortune. 14 good reasons to chant so you'll be happy now. The holy name can also give you eternal happiness. But right now, this is what the holy name can do. The holy name counteracts the effects of Kali Yuga. It's the easiest way to control the mind. It grants liberation, freedom from material existence. It makes us eager for service. It frees us from sinful reactions. While enjoying this life, we can prepare for going back home. It protects us from ghosts and demons. It helps us deal with fear. We can overcome bad habits. It's free. It's universally applicable. It's universally applicable, or there's universal application. It can bring peace. It counteracts scarcity, and we can be happy both materially and spiritually. The holy name can also help us increase our faith. Srila Jiva Goswami in Bhakti Sandarbha says, by performance of kirtan, one attains faith in the Lord far greater than the faith attained by meditation or any other spiritual practice. By meditation performed in Satya Yuga, one does not attain this same deep faith in the Supreme Lord. In the Skanda Purana, it is said, in Kali Yuga, the great devotees worship the Lord by performing Sankirtan. These words of the Skanda Purana glorify the performance of Kirtan, which brings great faith in the Supreme Lord. The Lord, who is very merciful to the fallen souls, does not reveal any spiritual path better than Kirtan. And what is faith? Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Shraddha sabde vishwas kahe, surida nischaya, Krishna bhakti kaila sarva karma krita haya. By rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiaries. This confident, firm faith favorable to discharge devotional service is called Shraddha. So faith means believing firmly. If we have firm faith, we will become perfect by surrendering unto Krishna. So we should have firm faith that this chanting given by the Supreme Lord is complete, it's perfect, and it will give us everything we need to perfect our spiritual practice and our relationship with Krishna. In a letter, Srila Prabhupada writes, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu The incarnation of Godhead in this age has delivered the medicine for all problems of the world by introducing the Sankirtan movement. Sankirtan means to chant the holy names of the Lord and give up all other engagements. Sankirtan means to chant that holy names of the Lord and to give up all other engagements. The chanting is a process of purification. Just like we use soap to cleanse the body, this is material, but the chanting is spiritual cleansing.
Cheto darpan marjanam bhav mahadavagni nirvapanam shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनम् प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनम् सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्.
Glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditioned life, of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it sprays the rays of the benediction moon. It is a life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, enables us to fully taste the nectar of which we are always drinking.
नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशं विहाजनिनानुरागः.
O my Lord, the holy name alone can render all benedictions to the living being. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you invested all your transcendental energies. And there are no hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy name. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for that.
तृणादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरे.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lowered in a straw in the street. One should be more tall than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer our respects to others. Such state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवता भक्ति अहेतुकी त्वयि.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotion service in this life, birth after birth.
ऐनन्दतनुजा किं करम् पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधो कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूलि सदृशं विचिन्तया.
O son of Maj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet some or other have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms on your lotus feet. Of your lotus.
नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदहृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपु कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs on my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रावृषायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे.
O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering woe to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling more vacant in your woe and absence.
आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनष्टुमाम् अदर्शनान्मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः.
I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipper Lord, unconditional. Siksastakam ki jai. So today we're going to be covering verse 2, how one can realize one's inaptitude to take up this chanting. And this verse is also related to sadhana bhakti. It is also addressing our relationship with Krishna, sambandha gyan. It's also focusing on abhidaya, the actual process. And verse 2 from the 9 stages of devotional service is covering sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, and anartha nivriti. So it is a long stage, which means we may need to ponder and focus and contemplate and meditate and pray and chant and chant and chant to really get the full benefit so that we can move forward in our practice. Why is the holy name so accessible? This verse is sharing Krishna's compassionate nature. That, oh my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. Nam, Akari, Bodha, Nidya Sharva Shaktis. In these transcendental names, invested all your transcendental energies. Sarva Shakti. It's all in Krishna's names. Tatrapitya nimete shmaranena kala. And I know hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names. But I'm so unfortunate. Durdevam, I'm so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. So in another translation of the same verse, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the 20th chapter, enter Antya Lila, Srila Prabhupada shares a little more light. And Prabhupada's, this translation says, my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, In your holy names, there is all good fortune for the living entity. Shreya Kevra Chandrika Vitaram Vidyavadu Jivanam. It's all good fortune. And therefore you have many names, such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you expand yourself. So Krishna and his names are non-different, but here Prabhupada is saying Krishna is expanding himself in the form of his names. And when Krishna is expanding, Krishna can expand himself in identical forms, or he can even expand in forms that have a certain variation to his original form. So this aspect of expanding, Krishna's names are really an extension of Krishna, an expansion of Krishna. You have invested all your potencies in these names. Note the adjective, all your potencies. And there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. See, here Prabhupada is not in the text, tatrapita nimete smarane nakala. So there's no hard and fast rules for chanting, and there's no hard and fast rules for remembering. When Srila Mahaprabhu, he would always chant Krishna's names. And one time Srila Mahaprabhu went into the lavatory and he held his tongue, because his tongue would always vibrate the holy name. So he held his tongue so that he wouldn't chant the holy names of Krishna in an inauspicious place. Then after doing his business, he came out. And one devotee, Gopal, he saw Lord Chaitanya and he says, "My Lord, what are you doing? Why are you holding your tongue?" And Srila Mahaprabhu said, "Because I went to an inauspicious place and I could not chant the Lord's names and my tongue keeps chanting, so I had to hold my tongue." And Gopal said, "No, my Lord, what if you left your body in the lavatory? So we should chant always. And you can chant in any place, in any environment, because the holy name does not get contaminated. So there's no hard and fast rules for chanting." And Lord Chaitanya was very happy with that answer. And he told Gopal that, "Thank you so much for enlightening me. From today, you will be called Gopal Guru." Then Prabhupada continues, "My dear Lord, although you bestow such mercy upon fallen conditioned souls by liberally teaching your holy names, I'm so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting." So in this translation, Prabhupada is highlighting why we are unfortunate, why Durdevam, that Srila Mahaprabhu is instructing. He came to this world to give us the Mahamantra, and we are not attentive to his teachings, to his instruction. And we're so unfortunate that we commit offenses while chanting the holy name. And because we commit offenses, we do not develop attachment for chanting. So if we want to increase our attachment to the holy name, reduce and eliminate offenses. And we'll share and expand on that. So 6 points of learning from this verse. The first, the prayer acknowledges the Lord's numerous holy names, such as Krishna and Govinda. The Lord has unlimited names. Nam Namakari Bahudan, unlimited names, according to his characteristics, qualities, features, functions, desires, relationships, unlimited names. Krishna is unlimited, his pastimes are unlimited, his qualities are unlimited, therefore his names are unlimited. And there's two categories of Krishna's names: primary names and secondary names. Primary names are called Mukhya Nam. And secondary names are called Gonanam. Mukhyanam are also divided into two categories. You get the Madhurya Nams, like Nandan Nandana, Yashoda Nandan, Krishna, Radha, Raman, Gopinath. And you get Aishwarya Nams, Aishwarya names. Rama, Narayan, Shinga, Vasudev. So these are in the category of Aishwarya, and then you got category of Madhurya, but they all fall under Mukhyanam, primary names. There is a distinction between primary names and secondary names. Secondary names are related more towards in relation to the material world, material creation. So like Paramatma, Super Soul, God, Brahman, Allah, Jehovah, Jagdish. These are all secondary names. You can get all different results, purification, perfection, up to liberation with secondary names. But you cannot get pure love of Krishna by chanting secondary names. So if one wants pure love of Krishna, one must chant Mukhyanam, the primary names of Krishna. One will not get pure devotional service by chanting secondary names, Gonanam. One can get liberation, that means freedom from material entanglement, merging into Brahman effulgence, but that is the highest. No pure devotion or love of Krishna. Then Madhurya Nam can also be broken down into two other categories, Priyanama and Premanama. Priyanama are those names which are dear to the Lord, like Nanda Nanda, Yashoda Nandan. And Premanama, which is the highest names of the Lord, Radharaman, Gopinath, Gauranga, Nityananda. By chanting these names, we get infused with the highest level of pure devotional service, following in the footsteps of the residents of Vrindavan. So as we mentioned, Mukhyanam will give us everything, including love of Krishna. Secondary names, Gonanam, will only give us up to liberation. Both names, primary and secondary, can give us all material benefits. But we are not interested in any material gain. We are interested in the ultimate goal, which is Prema Pumartha Mahan. Then the second lesson is it recognizes that these transcendental names encompasses all of the Lord's divine energies. In the Skanda Puran, which is quoted in Hari Bhakti Vilas, it is stated, Shri Krishna invested all potencies in his holy names. Whatever potencies are to be found within the demigods to destroy sins or to bestow benedictions, as well as all potencies that are present within charity, vows, penance, holy places, the royal and horse sacrifices, or knowledge of the spiritual phenomena, have been assembled by the Supreme and invested in his holy names. Shri Krishna extracted all the potencies that are present in Dharma, Yagna, Yoga, and Jnana and conferred them upon his holy names. Then also a very beautiful verse, Nama Chintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purno Sudo Nitya Mukto Bhinat Vam Nama Namino. The holy name of Krishna is transcendently blissful. It bestows all spiritual benedictions, for it is Krishna himself, the reservoir of all pleasure. Krishna's name is complete, and it is the form of all transcendental mellows. It is not a material name under any condition. It is no less powerful than Krishna himself. Since Krishna's name is not contaminated by material qualities, there is no question of its being involved with Maya. Krishna's name is always liberated and spiritual. It is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. This is because the name of Krishna and Krishna himself are identical. So Krishna has appeared in unlimited names. And right now, with our mundane vision, we cannot see Krishna. But in order to develop pure devotion and pure love for Krishna means you need to know the person, you need to see the person, you need to interact with Krishna. But because of our blunt senses, we cannot interact with Krishna. So Krishna mercifully introduces himself through his name. And his name is non-different from him. So when you meet someone, the first identification that is introduced to us is his name. Hi, this is so-and-so. So Krishna's introducing himself to us first and foremost through his name. But like in the material world, we find that the name and the object that is named is not the same. Prabhupada would give the example. If you're thirsty, if you say water, 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 you're not going to quench your thirst. In one class, Prabhupada was making this point that if you say Coke, 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 you're not going to quench your thirst. You have to actually drink the substance. Water, 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 you have to drink the substance. So then when Prabhupada finished, one student raised his hand and says, Swamiji, I disagree. If I chant water, 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 I'll be happy. I'll quench my thirst. So Prabhupada said, very good. You chant water, water, water. And when you're tired, you chant Hare Krishna. Because the reality is that in the material world, the substance and the name of that substance are totally different. But Krishna and Krishna's name are identical. They're not different. And we really need to get our head wrapped around this point. Bina Tvam Nama Nami. No, there is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's name. They are identical. This is extremely, extremely important. Keep reminding yourself Krishna and Krishna's name are identical. So if Krishna is personally present in front of us, he can do anything for us. If you have access to the holy name, and the holy name is not different from Krishna, the holy name can do anything for you. Because they are identical. Also, the holy name is fully conscious. When we chant Hare Krishna, we should understand that the holy name is fully aware, fully conscious, understanding your intention, your aspiration, your attention, your focus, your desire, everything. The holy name knows everything. You cannot cheat. You cannot duck and dive. You can't, as they say, pull wool over the eyes of the holy name. The holy name knows you in and out, and the holy name cannot be cheated. So if you trying to not chant nicely and trying to put a show of chanting, you may be fooling people around you, but you cannot fool the holy name. That verse described the holy name is like a touchstone, Nama Chintamani. And there's a beautiful pastime. Sanatan Goswami, he says, the holy name is the greatest source of eternal pleasure and is my very life and ornament. So one time, one Brahmana, he was a worshiper of Lord Shiva. And he was very poor, so he was begging Lord Shiva, please, 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 give me some wealth, give me some opulence. And Lord Shiva said, no problem, go to Sanatana Goswami and he'll give you a precious gift. So immediately he went to Sanatana Goswami and he asked Sanatana Goswami, I was sent by Lord Shiva and he told me that you have a precious gift that you can give. And Sanatana Goswami said, oh yes, it's there in the rubbish dump. So this Brahmana went to the rubbish dump, searched through the rubbish dump, and he found a touchstone, Chintamani. A touchstone is a stone that if you touch anything, it turns into gold. So the Brahmana went home and he was touching different things and it was turning into gold. But because he was a Brahmana, he put two together and he was thinking, wait. This is such a precious gem. It's transforming things into gold. And why did Sanatana Goswami keep that in the rubbish dump? That implies he's got something more precious. So immediately he went back to Sanatana Goswami. And when he came to Sanatana Goswami, he told Sanatana Goswami, I think you have something more precious to give. Can you give me that? And Sanatana Goswami said, yes, I have. But are you sure you want it? He said, yes, I want. Says, if you want this precious gift, you'll have to take this stone and throw it in the Yamuna. And this Brahmana was looking at this Chintamani stone, looking at Sanatana Goswami, was thinking, well, he's not going to cheat me, but do I really have to give up the stone? Like, this is a Chintamani stone. Do I have to really give up? But if I want something more precious than the stone, then I have to give. And then he threw it in the water. And he came to Sanatana Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami said, now I'll give you the most precious gift, even more valuable than Chintamani, than the touchstone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So what we all have, dear devotees, is by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, and a disciplic succession, we have within our possession the greatest touchstone, the greatest ornament, the holy name of Krishna. The third lesson, there is an understanding that chanting these holy names have no rigid or strict rules. So there's no rules that govern the chanting. In this connection, Srijit Mahaprabhu has said the following in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Ki sayena, ki bojane, ki vajaga rane, ahirna sachinta Krishna balaha vandane. Whether sleeping, eating, or walking, at all times chant the holy name of Shri Krishna. Sarvakshana balaite vidina hi ara. There are no hard and fast rules for chanting the holy name of the Lord, so chant always. You find that in scripture there are many rituals, karma kandya sections, deity worship, other rituals where there's a question of time, place, circumstance, and individual. Just like worshiping the deity, you have to be second initiated. And then you can't just worship how you want. There's specific rules and regulations, specific mantras you have to chant. Certain level of purification you have to have. Specific times that you have to abide by. Specific types of offerings that you have to offer. So many rules and regulations. But with the holy name, there are no rigid rules or strict rules or regulations. One can chant anytime, any place, anywhere. You don't need to be pure. You can be pure, impure, child, adult, aged, young, educated, not educated, it doesn't matter. Anyone can chant the holy names of Krishna. Prabhupada, in his famous description of the glories of chanting Hare Krishna, says even a dog, even a child can chant. It is further stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kahete sun so kahete sote yatha tatha laya kala desha niyama nahi sarva siddhihaya. The holy name may be chanted at any time, even while sleeping or while eating or sleeping. In this method, there are no consideration of time and place. By chanting the holy name, one will attain all perfection. Now, even though there is no rules and regulations that govern the chanting, you can chant anytime, any place, any circumstance, in any condition. There is absolutely no rules that govern. But Prabhupada still made it very clear that we need to learn the art of chanting. So there's no rules and regulations that govern the chanting of the holy names, but there's a specific art that we need to learn, which we will share at the end. Then the fourth lesson, the devotee expresses gratitude for the Lord's kindness in making approachability easy through these names. So this verse, Sri Mahaprabhu is presenting this verse that, thank you, Krishna, you have so many names. In every incarnation, in every avatar, in every species you've incarnated. So every living entity has access to your mercy. There are no hard and fast rules. You invested all your energies. Thank you, my Lord, for such mercy, such kindness. This is Krishna's kindness. And we are grateful to Krishna that because he wants us to come back to his shelter, he has appeared in the form of the holy name. Right now, we're envious of Krishna. That's why we in this material. We came to this material. And Krishna knows he had to come in front of us, exhibited. Therefore, in the form of his holy name, even to those who medium Krishna, eating with Krishna. God's merciful devotee humbly admits to a holy name. So Durudeva, fortunate, I have no attraction. This manifested beautiful feature, the holy name, accessible. We got to embrace. I'm so fortunate. For everything else, oh Lord, bring your transcendental misery and misfortune who are versed in chanting, continue in inauspicious activity at heart. Fortunate. Good. So we to the Lord. Lack of attachment. The prayer for deeper, for the spiritual significance in thank you, my Lord. You have appeared in this most full way please. Nam extremely beneficial in all respects. So to aspect in a period Sankirtan. Let's just please try to, it's called annotate on the slide, not do that. Because my focus and attention of the and not play around the Zoom feed. It's one of the things we're going to speak about in attention. Sri Krishna Sankirtan has 4 varieties distinguished by Nam, form, Rup, qualities, Guna, and pastimes. So Sankirtan, congregational chanting, means I can chant about the names of Krishna. I can chant the forms of Krishna. I can chant the qualities of Krishna. And I can chant about the pastimes of Krishna. Okay, so in this way, I have access to these different aspects. Yeah, my internet is a little sluggish. Just let me know if it is unbearable or cuts out. I may have to switch.
It's much better now, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. The holy name of Shri Krishna is identified as the original seed of all happiness. Shri Krishna Nam. Vaishnavi Charan, please. I'm going to remove you if you do not stop. I'm not sure if you have somebody there that's playing around with the annotation. Please stop doing that. So Shri Krishna's name, holy name, and Shri Krishna Nam, the possessor of the name, are considered identical. There is no difference between them. And we spoke about that. And to instill faith in the jivas, living beings, towards the holy name, the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally emphasizes supreme utility of Krishna Nam Sankirtan. The first verse was shared specifically focusing on instilling faith, showing us that the holy name is bestowing such super excellent gifts, 7 in number. So we should be fully convinced about chanting. Yet, I'm so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. As Prabhupada has written, this is the issue, offenses. So let us cover the offenses. There are 10 offenses against the holy names. We should memorize them, we should know them, and we should try to avoid them at all cost. Because if we are chanting with these offenses, we can chant for billions and billions of lifetimes, and we will never get the mercy of the holy name. At least we will never get Krishna Prem. It may take us many, many, many more lifetimes. It'll be a slow progress, very slow progress if we committing these offenses. So we have to be very attentive. First, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy names of the Lord. 2, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal or independent of the names of Lord Vishnu. 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4, to blaspheme the Vedic literatures or literatures in pursuance of the Vedic version. 5, to consider glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. 8, to consider chanting Hare Krishna, one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruit of activities karma kanda. 9, to instruct the faithless persons about the glories of the holy name. And 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. So we could have a whole session on these 10 offenses. Prabhupada, in his Bhaktivedanta purports in the 2nd canto, has elaborated on these 10 offenses. You can read about them. In every initiation, these are spoken about. We need to understand them and avoid them at all cost. The first offense, to blaspheme the devotees' dedicated lives in the propagation of the holy names of the Lord, is the most detrimental. It is ascribed that it is like the Hati Mata. When an elephant goes into a garden, it can destroy the whole garden. So our Bhakti Lata creeper can be totally destroyed by a mad elephant. So therefore, we have to be very careful of this offense to Vaishnavas, to devotees. And Harinam Chintamani categorized 4 kinds of blasphemy to a Vaishnava. 1, to find fault with a Vaishnava for his apparent low birth. 2, to blaspheme him for his previous faults. 3, to blaspheme him for his accidental fault. And 4, to blaspheme him for faults that is almost rectified. So we have to be attentive. We do not want to dampen and destroy our own spiritual practice, our own spiritual life. Therefore, we have to be diligent about these offenses. We may not be as fortunate as Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni was very fortunate. He offended Maharaj Ambrish. You see the picture there. He offended Maharaj Ambrish, and as soon as he offended Maharaj Ambrish, Krishna, Vishnu released the Surasan Chakra, and the Surasan Chakra started chasing Durvasa Muni. See, Durvasa Muni, he thought that Maharaj Ambrish offended him and that he needs to teach Maharaj Ambrish a lesson. So he, from his hair, he pulled out a tuft of hair, threw it on the ground, invoked a demon to kill Maharaj Ambrish. But the Surasan Chakra was chasing him and not Maharaj Ambrish. So he couldn't say, wait, just Surasan, just pause, wait. Something's, I think you got it wrong here. Let's just have a discussion. See, it wasn't my fault. It was his fault. No, there was no question of discussion. It was clear whose fault it was. Durvasa Muni started running for his life, flying for his life. He flew to Brahma, Shiva, to Shiva, to Brahma, then finally to Vishnu. Please help, please protect me from the Sudarshan. Vishnu said, even I cannot protect you. The only person who can protect you is Maharaj Ambrish. And now even then, he couldn't ever say, wait, let's have a discussion. See, he broke the fast and he's supposed to wait. No, Sudarshan is behind. So he had to, no discussion, quickly go and fall. Here we see he's falling at the feet of Maharaj Ambrish. And Maharaj Ambrish is praying to Sudarshan and he's protected. So we may not be as fortunate as Durvasa Muni that the Surasan Chakra is behind us and we clearly know that I did something wrong. We could offend someone and not even know it. And if we offend someone and we do not know that we've offended that person, that anartha of Vaishnav Aparad can be an obstacle for the rest of our future life and lives, spiritual life. So therefore, we have to be very careful. The best practice is to understand that we're not necessarily the teachers. Let Krishna be the teacher. It's between the devotee and Krishna, whatever happens. We also need to understand it's between me and Krishna. So Srila Rupa Goswami discusses 6 loving exchanges that we should be focusing on so that we can avoid and leave behind Vaishnava Parat. Tadadi Grinati Uyam Akyati Prichati Bhute Bochayate Chaiva Sat Vidim Priti Lakshanam. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. So let us focus on the loving exchanges, the positive side, and be careful of Vaishnava Parat. Whether it's rumors that we're hearing, because that means you get 50% reaction, whether it's true or false. So we should be very, very careful and try to avoid. You will not get the mercy and the blessings of the holy name if one commit these offenses. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there's 11th offense. And that 11th offense is inattentive while chanting. And this is the most dangerous of all the offenses. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says this is the breeding ground of all other offenses. So we have to be very, very, very careful. Now, here I have a Sunday feast in front of us. What do we do with the Sunday feast? Please tell me in the chat. What do I do with the Sunday feast? What are you going to do with the Sunday feast? Please share. What are you going to do with the Sunday feast? Jivananda says, honor it. Very good. Madhachana Siddhi says, honor it. Yes. Karuna Radhika says, honor it. Ukun says, going to relish it. Madri says, I'm going to distribute it because there may be chilies in there. And I'm allergic to chilies. So I have to distribute it. Okay. So, yes, we're going to honor it. Now, I have a question. You all said honor it. Why? This is Krishna Prasad. It's non-different from Krishna. Why must you honor Krishna Prasad? Accept it with love, and I know I will never go hungry. Yes. So why do I have to honor this? Why do I have to eat this? No problem on the Vaishnav. Charan. It is non-different from him. Yes. Good. So it's Krishna Prasad. It's non-different. Anything else? To please Krishna? Yes, it's Krishna Prasad. So to please Krishna, we honor it. Any other reason why I have to honor? It's Krishna's remnants. Right, exactly. It's Krishna's remnants. It's his mercy. It is foodstuff. So it's Krishna's mercy in the form of prasad, in the form of remnants, in the form of food. How do I honor Krishna's remnants in the form of prasad, in the form of food? I eat it. I do not take the kachori. Please listen. I do not take the kachori and put it by my ears. I do not take the kachori and put it by my ears. I do not take the roti and make a garland, because that's not the way I honor Krishna Prasad. I honor Krishna Prasad by putting it into my mouth. That's how I respect Krishna Prasad. I hope that's clear. Now, the next question is, how do I honor the holy name of Krishna? because the holy name is also non-different from Krishna. It is also Krishna's mercy. So how do I honor the holy name? Yes, by hearing it, by attentive hearing, by hearing and chanting, by hearing and chanting with attention. Correct. So the holy name, I receive and respect with my ear. I chant with my tongue. I respect with my ear. Krishna Prasad, I respect with my mouth. So therefore, if I'm inattentive, if I chant and I'm not attentive with my ears, that is called inattention. Or if I'm chanting and my mind is not on the holy name, that is inattention. Prabhupada says these three words, namely Hare Krishna and Rama, are the transcendental seed of the Mahamantra. The chanting is a spiritual call for the Lord and his energy to give protection to the conditioned soul. This chanting is exactly like the genuine cry of a child for its mother's presence. Mother Hara helps the devotee achieve Father's grace, and the Lord reveals himself to the devotee who chants this mantra sincerely. Prabhupada says you should hear yourself chanting sincerely. Sincerely means you genuinely, truly want to chant and get Krishna's mercy. So we want to avoid inattentive chanting. We need to make sure it's connected before you chanting. That means make sure your mind is connected to your chanting. When you chant, is your mind connected? Are you hearing the chanting through your ears? Very important. Prabhupada, he would say, chant attentively, chant nicely, chant sincerely if we want results. And there are 32 ways of not chanting japa. I'm going to share a link. No, actually, Mukund will upload that as well on the Google Drive, and that document will share 32 ways not to chant. Okay, Hare Krishna. And here are some: cooking japa, driving japa, prajalpa japa, cell phone japa. So you do not, it's mentioned that when you put your hand in the bead bag, it so happened that your left hand just becomes more automatically engaged. It's like you become ambidextrous. And this finger that's outside the bead bag is not meant for scrolling on your phone. So cooking japa, we should avoid. Driving japa, we should avoid. Prajalpa japa. These are all inattentive forms of japa. It's giving a sign to Krishna that you're really not interested. Cell phone japa. It's giving Krishna a sign that what's more important is these other things. And therefore you will not get Krishna's mercy. It's inattentive. It's an offense to the holy name. It's like disrespecting the prasad. It's disrespecting the holy name if you do not hear the holy name. So in the beginning, we should simply focus on chanting and hearing ourselves. Nothing else, no one else should be interfering with that activity, and no other activity should be involved. This way, you will attract the mercy of the holy name, and then the 7 benefits of chanting will begin to unfold. So we need to keep reminding ourselves. It's interesting that all these different 32 ways of japa were never there during Prabhupada's time. All the negative ways of japa, it all came, over time. People thought they were innovative, but actually it's destructive to one's spiritual practice. And then finally, chanting Hare Krishna will consider, the holy name will consider offenses and will not give mercy if there is offenses. Therefore, we need the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and the Panchatattva. Therefore, Prabhupada says, it should be noted in this connection that the holy names of Lord Krishna and Gaura Sundar are both identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should not consider one name to be more potent than the other. Considering the position of the people of this age, however, the chanting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's names is more essential than the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most magnanimous incarnation and his mercy is very easily achieved. Therefore, one must first take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. By serving Gaura Nityananda, one is freed from the entanglement of material existence and thus become qualified to worship Radha and Krishna. So by chanting Hare Krishna, we become free from the offenses committed to the holy name of Krishna. The merciful Panchatattva, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, they do not consider offenses. Therefore, we take their shelter, pray to them, and then chant Hare Krishna. At the same time, try to intentionally avoid offenses to the holy name. Contemplate on the glories and the mercy of the holy name. And in this way, we will make progress to verse 3. Shri Siksastakam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Go Pramanande, Hari Bol. Right. Are there any questions anyone has? Please let us know in the chat, or you can unmute and you can also share. We'll just give a minute or two and then we can continue. I'm also going to share I'm also going to share some links. And also, so here's some links on the verses if anybody wants the PDF format, as well as some narrations, Prabhupada's chanting, Siksastakam, and some other devotees chanting. And there's also the recordings will also be posted on Chaitanya Life Academy. Mother Acharya Siddhi says, is by chanting the Panchatattva mantra before chanting Hare Krishna mantra, one becomes free from offenses. Yeah, so remember, we already may have committed prior offenses even before chanting, and we may be prone to commit offenses after chanting. So therefore, Prabhupada says, anytime before chanting Hare Krishna, especially in Kirtan, it's a good practice to chant Hare Krishna. Many devotees also chant, when you chant Hare Krishna, before chanting Hare Krishna, you chant Panchatattva mantra. And many devotees, when they're chanting Hare Krishna japa, they also chant Panchatattva mantra. So we can pray to Lord Chaitanya anytime. Worshipping Lord Chaitanya is extremely beneficial for us. So wherever there is Panchatattva deities, one is blessed and fortunate to get the mercy of Panchatattva, because this way they bestow mercy to become free from offenses. And also when they give mercy, we can enter into Vrindavan and the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So yes, it's not like I'm chanting and I become free from the offenses because we may have committed prior offenses. So anytime we chant Panchatattva mantra, we're obviously chanting with the mood that these are the most merciful personalities. Please, please free me from all offenses. Please accept me. Consider Lord Nityananda. Jagai and Madai specifically hit Lord Nityananda. That's Vaishnava Parad of the highest order. In fact, it's also the third offense, blasphemy of the Guru. So Madai offended Lord Nityananda, if we just look at it on one hand, and the holy name would have been very upset. But Lord Nityananda never took offense. In fact, Lord Nityananda said, it's okay. I still want you to chant. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he wanted to kill them, but he begged for their mercy. And he gave them pure love of Krishna. So therefore, Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very merciful for the residents of Kali Yuga. I hope I shed a little light on that. Yes, Vidura Prabhu.
Hare Krishna to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna to you, Prabhu. So in this verse, we find the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So by saying, but I am unfortunate, this reveals the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which he personally wants to show us, to teach us, that we should be in the same mood whenever we have to chant the holy name. Good. So this is what I gather from this verse number 2.
Yes, correct. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is completely absorbed in chanting the holy names. There is no, in fact, he's not unfortunate. He's most fortunate. He's most magnanimous. But yet it's coming out as an instruction for us.
Yes, good.
And for us, we don't even need to pretend because it's true.
True. Yes.
We are unfortunate because why? We fall off to sleep when we're chanting. We're inattentive when we're chanting. In fact, we don't have a taste. We don't, it's explained. If you chanting Hare Krishna and tears don't fall from your eyes like torrents of rain, hairs don't stand on your end, it means our heart is still framed. Therefore, this verse is very appropriate for us that, yes, I am so unfortunate. My heart is still framed. I need mercy. I need mercy. My Lord, I'm a mercy case. Please, please, please bless me, bless me, bless me that I may try to avoid offenses. I want to get the full blessing of your holy name. So yes, that is very pertinent for us.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Vidura Prabhu. Shamananda Prabhu says, Hare Krishna Prabhu, thanks for these sessions which remind us so many important things we take for granted, and also to evaluate where we are, etc., regard our dealings with the holy names. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Yes. We have been given the GPS. We have been given the path, the process. Everything is given to us, but we may be neglectful. We may be casual. We may take it for granted. Prabhupada said we should be very careful not to take Krishna consciousness for granted. Prabhupada said Krishna consciousness is so simple, you may miss it. So by recollecting, by reminding ourselves and refocusing, like one devotee gave the example, a pilot, when a pilot is flying a plane and he's off by 1 degree, he needs to get back on course. So he keeps, and because of the wind, there's turbulence, there's winds, right? Then the plane would obviously move off course. So he keeps readjusting every now and then on course, even if it's 1 degree off. Why? Because 1 degree off over long distance can be totally off course, wrong destination. So therefore, we have to constantly use all the instructions of Lord Chaitanya, all the instructions of Prabhupada to always come back and refocus and align. Jagannath Priya says, Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for this week's wonderful classes. Thank you. Nalini Kanti Prabhu says, thank you, Prabhu. We are grateful and inspired to make much more effort in our japa. Yes. And this is true both for kirtan and japa. It's interesting, sometimes even in kirtan, we are inattentive. We are talking, we're not hearing the holy name. So we have to be attentive in japa and kirtan, both. Harini Devidasi says, Hare Krishna, what happens when we honor Krishna Prasad cooked by non-initiated devotees? Is it harmful to our devotional life? Do we get karma for that? So, non-initiated, we need to expand it a little. Are they chanting Hare Krishna? Because if they're not chanting Hare Krishna, if they're not chanting even one round, then that cannot be considered prasad. At least if one is chanting 1 round, 4 rounds, 6 rounds, 8 rounds, 16 rounds, then if we offer, we can consider that prasad. Prabhupada's standard was ideally we want to eat food cooked by those who are chanting 16 rounds nicely. Okay, so yes, there are different standards of prasadam, different grades of prasadam. And if you're eating food cooked by non-initiated, non-devotees, that can be detrimental to one's devotional service and to our chanting. We may not get karma per se, but the karma is the reaction that is on our consciousness. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj says our consciousness will become envious. We'll start looking for faults, fault-finding mentality. If you eat karmic grains, it's bad for our consciousness, and therefore it will impact our chanting and our relationship with the holy name. So that's why it's best to eat your own cooking. And always best to eat food that's cooked by devotees who are chanting Hare Krishna nicely. Okay, so yes, we should be attentive to what type of food we are consuming, because it will impact our consciousness and our japa. All right, thank you. If there is no other questions, thank you very much for all the devotees. Tomorrow, we are going to hear now how to improve our chanting to the level that we can chant constantly. What mood and qualities do I need to develop and imbibe and cultivate so that I can chant constantly? All yours, Mukund.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, I think I agree what Shamananda Prabhu said. It's a good reminder, like how we should chant, and we do it every day, but then, yeah, we forget the small things that it needs to be attentive. And so I think
it becomes mechanical.
Yeah.
And we have to be very careful that our chanting does not become mechanical. Sometimes we say shooting blank bullets, right? We're shooting, the action of shooting is there, and the action of noise is there, bang, 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 but it does nothing to the target because it's blank bullets.
Right.
So we don't want to just chant like a parrot, sound is coming out, but we are totally disconnected to the chanting. There's no connection. Our heart is not feeling anything. So when we start to meditate on these verses and the instruction that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given, then slowly it becomes what we call soulful chanting. Our heart is involved, there's feelings, and it now the love and devotion that's there in our heart starts to get churned. And we really start to feel a relationship with the holy name. And that's not going to be automatic. Just like if a couple gets married and they only met once in a year, and now they're deciding to get married, that's disastrous. And even after marriage, if they don't sit together and cultivate that relationship, that marriage is not going to work. So we have a relationship with the holy name, which Mahaprabhu has personally come to give us. It means there has to be some sort of cultivation with the holy name. And yes, it can take time and we have to learn. But the mercy is there for us to perfect the chanting. All yours. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you all, devotees. So I'm not gonna show some darshan of the cows, but I do have a video of our two new members, Mohini and Sita Devi, that I want to share some clips there, right? Yeah. Okay, so these are our Sita Devi. So I'll just, Prabhu, can you see the video? Okay.
नाम तेरा हो मन में मैं जो भी करूं, हाथ तेरे हो नैया तो क्यों मैं डरूं, हाथ तेरे हो नैया तो क्यों मैं डरूं। कृष्ण गोविंद गोपाल गाते चलो, कृष्ण गोविंद गोपाल गाते चलो, नाम जपते चलो काम करते चलो, नाम जपते चलो काम करते चलो।
So that's our two new Gaumatas, Sita Devi and Mohini. They're growing up quite nicely, and hope for you all to come and visit us one day. So that's all for tonight, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Have a blissful night, and we'll see you again tomorrow. And look forward to Prabhu's class tomorrow on how we can chant attentively, what we can do to be together at that stage. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you.